Alright YouTube, here's a deck profile of something I've been working on lately. It's normal pendulums. Like 80% of everything in his deck, 80% of the monsters in his deck are all normal monsters with only pendulum effects. But it's kind of a prototype from when Igknights come out, which are mostly normal monsters with scales from 2 to 7s from memory, I believe. But it's somewhat similar to this build. All I gotta do is just replace the monsters with the Igknights. Some may stay in here, some may leave. But start off, this guy was the promo from the Crossroads. In the Pendulum Zone, what he does is when a monster is destroyed by battle on either player's of the field, either player's side of the field, the controller of this card gets to special summon a normal monster from their hand. So if you're going on the aggro phase and you just attack, kill their monsters, you special summon another one. It's only once per turn, but it's still worth it. Even if you're getting bombarded with monsters, they kill your monster, you special summon something bigger. The big monster playing here is a Blue Eyes. I hardly need to tribute it because even though I cannot pendulum summon it, with his effect, he can easily drop from my hand. 3 of this guy, he came out first. In all truthfulness, I hope there's going to be 2 more, 1 wind and 1 earth, that has similar effects. So I'd build an entire deck on these. But his pendulum effect is once one of my normal monsters destroys a monster by battle, sends it to the graveyard, I can search for a level 4 or higher normal monster. It's a little difference on the searching abilities. Normally it's 4 or lower, so I always search for a 4, and I think I can search for my bigger monsters. But search for my bigger ones, and if these both are on there, it's really good. Go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, search out your Blue Eyes, Chain Link 2, just special summon it that turn. So it's really good if you have them both on board. Especially if you pendulum summon. If not, you can still sacrifice for it. So next is this guy, which I don't know how to say his full name, but I call him Lance. All it does is gives my normal monsters piercing. So, but it's a 25 beater, 6 stars. So it's kind of the bigger monster in this deck. 2 of these guys. Only reason it's 2 because I play 3 stars in here. So it kind of renders my 3-star pendulum useless. Well, but his effect is all normal monsters gain a 200 boost, and the controller of this card takes no battle damage involving a normal monster. So it kind of keeps my life points safe. But all else, he's a 23 beater, 6 stars. He may go back up to 3 because that way it gives me. I didn't want to be overdrawn with low level pendulum scales. That's why he was at 2. But he may go to 3 just for pendulum effect. For the regular non-pendulum monsters, I have 3 of this guy. Came in Crossroads. There's no significant reason why he's in here. He's just in here just to be a 2004 star beater that can just normal summon. He helps with my XY exceeds. So just going to that. If I had a significant reason, I play more Wing Beast and make him that way. Keep him so I can do Shidori or play a rabbit in here or something. But all else, you can change him for anything. Go Sabersaurus if you want to do evils. Go Caboozles for that reason. Alexandrite Dragons or anything significant. It's personal preference. He was just in here because he was right there. I had him and I didn't feel like searching for my other ones. I don't know if Gene Werewolf is a Beast Warrior. If it is, that makes Tinky even more alive. If not, I think he's just a regular beast. But it's personal preference. As long as it's a 2000 beater, I was fine with it. I may replace him for Flash Knight, which is a Pendulum Scale 7. Has no effect whatsoever. And that'll make Road alive, but he'll be my only search. So, Galaxy Servant, just a 2-star tuner. Just help goes into my 6s or 5s or 8s. Blue Eyes, like I said, he's just in there for a 3000 beater. It was really originally it's Blue Eyes and a Dark Magician just for the fun of it. But if I had to switch, I would take him out for the it's the 6-star Magic Swordsman. It's a 26 beater, but it's only 6 stars. If not, put him in for something else that I can easily pendulum form or sack form. Maybe a Kai. No, my Caius needs to be sacrificed. I don't know, but he's in here just a 3000 beater. So if I find something better or worth it, he will come out. 2 of her. She's the kind of the free polymerization in his deck. Once per turn, I can just fuse 2 monsters on the field. So it's a Pendulum Scale 4. But I play 6s, so my 4s are fine. Just go on the scale, Pendulum Summon. I only have 1 fusion target in here. That's my only player at 2. But all else, she really serves no purpose. Well, that's the only purpose. So the next cards I put in here just for the fun of it. I just want to see how they work out. Like how they work in a pendulum deck. This is my, I don't have Cleese, and I don't play the pendulum version of Yusenju's. So this was the first one I can actually try out Pendulum Summon. So I put him in here, and he's okay. He's not that powerful, but his effect is when he's Pendulum Summon, target a card on the field, bounce it. So with this, I can reactivate 10 keys, or if there's a monster I can't get over, and I can Pendulum Summon, drop him, bounce a card. But so I just want to see if he worked. With that, that's it. If I consider him that much great, I may sideboard him, get 2 more, and just side him in if I Pendulum Summon as much as I think I can. This guy, he's Marauding Captain for level 4 or lower normal monsters. That's all he is. He's 18 beater. So he sets up the rank 4s in his deck. So, then his little version, just to the level 3 version, again sets up my rank 3s. I only have 1 legitimate, well, 4 of the same card, but just drop him, drop a 4, drop the other one, go into a rank 3 or something. They may or may not stand here. May replace them for something else, either some spells or some more monsters that I can Pendulum Summon. But if I do play him, I'd get Gen X Controller. That way I can set up my synchro plays. Or, what is it? Tomb, is it Tomb Warrior or Turbo Warrior? Not Turbo Warrior. It's a normal warrior tuner monster that's level 3. But Gen X sets up other plays for other Gen X monsters. This guy or girl or whatever, all he is tribute this, bounce a card on the field. I just want to see how significant it worked. If not, I'd trade this in for a Grand Mole or something. For traps, I only play 4 traps, and like I said, this is a prototype. I went spell heavy with this deck, but for the traps, just play 1 Solemn, Bottomless, 2 Justy Breaks. What Justy Break does is when one of my normal monsters is an attack target, destroys all monsters on the field except for face-up attack position normal monsters. Yeah, it sounds great, it sounds like Mirror Force, but the problem is it says only face-up attack. So even if your monsters are in defense and it's targeting for attack, trigger this, it will destroy your monsters still because it's not a face-up attack position. For spells, I'm Paroxene because these are just kind of went up. These are supposed to be Heart of the Underdogs. What it does is on your draw phase only, if you draw a normal monster, reveal it to your opponent, draw again. If it's a normal monster, repeat the process until it's not until you draw a non-normal monsters that you don't have to reveal. The great combo with this is play reload, because you're still drawing. So you draw. If you have reload in hand and the card you drew was not a normal monster, still on the draw phase, play reload, you draw again. Eventually you'll draw a normal monster, reveal it, do it again. But like I said, surprisingly, nobody at my locals have this card. They say they only have one, and they forever not bring it because nobody thinks of this card. But as I looked online, they I'm thinking they're gonna be less than $1. But now they skyrocket to like $3 for the commons. Well, they're only commons, but they're like $2.80 something, right up close to about $3. So 3 MSTs, because warning kind of kills pendulum summons. Vanities, bottomless. So yeah, just for that reason. Double Cyclone, I think, is a really good tech card. Should be a staple for anybody who's playing pendulum monsters. Because what it sent, well, if you played artifacts, you know what this did. You target one of your cards and target one of your opponent's cards and destroy it. So if you want to free up that pendulum zone, say I play that little fusion magician monster and I want to play a scale 2, target her, target something else, pop it. So it's really good. It frees up your pendulum zone or my dead tankies that serve no purpose, because I only have one beast warrior in here. So you target those, or target Heart of Underdog, something that you don't, well, Heart of Underdog is pretty much needed on the field, but your dead tankies or your pendulum skills that you don't need. So it's a kind of, you're not losing anything when you play that card. Triple tanky for search for the Dragoon. Double riches, because practically everything in here is a pendulum, so you're guaranteed the pendulum. One unexpected die, which may or may not come out, because well, somebody told me of a great combo with this, to play Evil Swarms. So I may throw in 3 of the little 1950 beaters in here instead. That way I can go into it's not Ouroboros. What the hell is that then? Ophion. Go into Ophion, and that way that hurts my opponent. So that actually is not bad. It's not bad at all, actually. But yeah, all it does is if you control no monster in the field, if I control no monster in the field, I can special summon a level 4 lower normal monster from my deck. Again, do not put this in heroes unless you're playing the normal heroes, because this does not bring out Alias, because Alias is considered an effect monster in the deck. It's only a normal monster on the field or in the graveyard. Then 1 Raigeki. Again, this is the prototype, but Raigeki is practically needed. If I had to, I would throw in other tech cards like Ring of Destruction. Let's see, I'm all over the place with attributes, so Chaos wouldn't make a difference. So maybe some Call of the Haunted. I don't know, I'm still working on it. But for the extra deck, the one fusion that I play is First of the Dragons. All it consists of is 2 normal monsters. This card cannot be targeted by my opponent's monster's effects and cannot be destroyed by battle except by a normal monster. So it's really good. So 27 beater just sits there. Testing this deck at my locals, I stared down a BLS meme. He can't banish it. I was facing Light Sworns. Couldn't be JD'd. Couldn't be BLS'd. So sure, I'm taking 300 points of damage, but I'm just sitting here just saying, I'm not going nowhere. Yeah, can't be Veilered. Can't be targeted by monster effects. I call it Synchro Horse. what it does is when it's synchro summon, depending on the monster you use, it gains several effects. I don't have any effect monsters in here that are going to, well, effect monsters that I would use, but if it did use effect monster, I target one other face-up card on the field, negates its effects. If it was synchro with a normal monster, it is unaffected by other card effects. If I used a Pendulum monster, I target one of my opponent's monsters on the field and take control of it permanently, but it cannot attack. So just Pendulum summon, sync with the pendulums, bring out, take my opponent's monster. I'm still iffy on the fact if I use a normal pendulum, will I get both effects, because it's still considered a normal monster. If it is, that means it's unaffected and I take one of your monsters. So the only flaw is it's a 23 beater, can't really get over that much. So there's that. For Exceeds, it's personal preference, but I recommend, if you do decide to build this, Gauntlet Launcher, Photon Strike Bouncer, and the other one I think is this Force Focus. What this does is on either player's turn, you can detach once per turn you can detach a material and negate an effect on the field. I always forget whether or not I can destroy it or not. Detach materials and negate the effect if you do. Oh, inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent. So yeah, 27 beater. Your opponent activates an effect on the field. Negate the effect. Damage them for 1,000. So, or Gauntlet Launcher, 24 beater, 28 defense. I can detach a material from this card, target a monster on the field, and destroy it. It is not once per turn, so you can just pop 2 cards if you want to. This has a lot of 6, but do keep in mind that if you use Pendulum monsters for the Exceed materials, they will go to the graveyard because the materials are no longer on the field. And for 4s, your 4s can be anything you want, but I do recommend using Daigusto Emerald, not just for the recycling ability, but if your monsters do go to the graveyard, you detach a material, choose a non-effect monster in your grave, and special summon it to the field. He can work on things like, the Gaia Synchro monster that doesn't have an effect, Igknight Pearl, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Black Skull Dragon. Those monsters don't have an effect. If they're in graveyard, you can target those. But so, even if so, Blue Eyes hits the grave for any other reason, bring him out. I can detach, put Blue Eyes on board. So I do recommend using this, whether at 1 or at 2. That is my deck. Side deck purposes, this deck, being that it's only a prototype, does not have a side deck. There is a card that I do recommend if you do play it. Once Igknight comes out, to look for it. Could not tell you the name of it, but its effect is target a special summon monster on the field, send it to the graveyard, special summon a normal monster from your hand. So if they drop Construct, you'll lose on Dante, but Dante, Construct, any Necros, just send it to the graveyard, special summon it. So it does say send, it does not say destroy. So you can get over Zen mains. Alright, that's the deck. If you have any comments or suggestions of what I should change, add, or take out, I'd appreciate it. It'd be awesome. But that's the deck profile.